Number 3 is Jago Chapman. And Yamaha are going to be fairly happy with him, aren't they?
Yeah, he looks very, very smooth out there, so he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been quite quiet this race, but quietly getting on doing his thing.
This is the final lap then of this 26-lap Superstocks race. Chris Vermeulen has led right from the green light. He has been absolutely superb. The young Australian, well, really has not put many feet wrong. There's been a couple of mistakes that's got me and Scott stuck to the ceiling in here, but really he's tidied it all up and really he's through the most difficult part of this now. He just has a short circuit to go. He's been chasing Andy Tinsley. He's not going to lap Andy Tinsley after all. Tinsley's going to hang on and have to do the full distance after all. I think discretion being the better part of valour as far as number 4 is concerned. Vermeulen, why pass a back marker when you don't need to? So Vermeulen is not going to make any mistake. That's a very mature move from him. He's not been goaded into going past. He looks like he's well steamed up there as well in the helmet department at the moment, so it's difficult to see for him. But again, he's got no one in front. Nice wheelie then. He knows he's taken the win. He comes to the line. Stylish is the word I will use for Chris Vermeulen. Dominant here in the opening race of the day in appalling conditions. There is fog on the hill, but brightening it all up for all of us. Chris Vermeulen then takes the win and closes the gap on the series leader, Matt Llewellyn. Round 8 of the Superstocks. It's Chris Vermeulen then, 5.4 seconds in front of his teammate. So another Sanyo First National Honda 1-2 in front of Jago Chapman, the first of the R1 Yamahas, in 3rd place. David Jeffries and Matt Llewellyn, the Teamsters, only 4th and 5th. They'll be disappointed with that. Rob Frost a good 6th on the Fast Bikes Yamaha. Mark Wright 7th and Ian Campbell 8th.
Well, Chris, what a fantastic performance you put on for us out there. An Australian who loves British rain.
Yeah, I don't mind riding in the rain at all, and I showed there that I can run around with the best of them, and it was a good race. I just kept it about 4 or 5 seconds in front of my teammate Glenn, and the Dunlop tyres were working perfectly on, and my bike was faultless all race. So
I couldn't go with Chris. I wasn't quite sure the conditions early on, and so I let him go and just sort of tried to do my own pace, which I was comfortable with. And that's good enough for 20 points today, which is good for the championship for the both of us.
You're notorious for doing well in the wet out there.
yeah, wetter the better. I like that sort of stuff. It's a little bit of confidence in just getting there. It's the start wasn't too good for starters, and obviously I had to pull through from 9th place, but anyway, at least we got on the podium anyway, so that's good. It's a good effort.
And a good result for the championship too. Just 9 points now between Llewellyn and Jeffries, but only 36 cover the top 4 of Llewellyn, Jeffries, Vermeulen and Richards. Rob Frost 5th, Andy Tinsley 6th, Jago Chapman 7th and Steve Brogan 8th. Team managers Mick Grant and Russell Savory will be happy with that, and so will Honda as they reel in the Yamahas. Young Vermeulen is showing the stealth and style of a much older man. The reigning British 250 champion is well on the mend after breaking his hip, but John McGuinness's biggest pain has come from losing his ride at Demon Vimto Honda. He's replaced by American Roland Sands, and what a debut. From California to Knock Hill. That's next. Round 8 of the 250cc British Championship saw the clouds break just in time. John McGuinness and Callum Ramsey had been locked in battle for the title. McGuinness led the series, but his injury puts him out for the rest of the year and gave Demon Vimto Honda a chance to try out new talent. Paul Jones rode the #1 plate at Alton Park, and Californian Roller Sands got a culture shock at Knock Hill. Paul Bird had publicly snubbed British riders not once, but twice.
Paul Bird, you run one of the best teams in the paddock, one of the most successful teams in the paddock, one of the most high-profile teams in the paddock, so why therefore have you decided to go for American riders?
First of all, I'll give you a tenner, Keith, for that. Well, thanks. It's nice to have somebody say that, really. American riders, we obviously had big problems with injuries over the last sort of 2 to 3 weeks, and we need, in this part of the season, we needed to sort of have a high profile finish to the year with, obviously next year we need to raise a lot of money to get the factory Superbike, so we needed to add a little bit of flair and look good in front of the sponsors. So drafted Roland Sands in for the 250, good calibre, American champion in '98, and I knew he would do me a good steady job. And then with the James Toseland injury, you know, everybody's absolutely devastated because James has been going so well and improving every weekend. And we didn't feel that there was anybody who could sort of jump in his boots and live with what James has done for us, really. So we thought we needed to pull somebody in with a bit more flair and somebody with a good calibre to do the job, so we've had to dig deep in the pockets and bring a guy who's been like 4 times American champion over, and hopefully he can do a sort of, it's just a finish it off with a little bit of flair and hopefully some good consistency. We don't want to chuck it in the gravel every weekend, and because we've done a lot of hard work so far this year.
Well, replacing the injured John McGuinness, we have American Roland Sands. Well, welcome to England, Roland. We've given you a bit of a baptism by fire here at Knockhill in all this British weather from California. You have a 250 title under your belt from AMA from '98, don't you? But give us a bit of a brief history about yourself.
Well, I've ridden for Team Performance Machine for the past 5 years in the AMA 250 Championship and won the championship in '98, and last year I had a bit of a problem. I was riding 600s as well as 250s in the championship. Went to Daytona and had a bit of mix-up, just switching from bike to bike and trying to be on pace on both bikes. Crashed the 250 and then crashed the 600 right after that and broke my wrist, kind of put me out for a while. And then came back 4 races later and broke my back.
Obviously dogged by injury. Coming into the British Championships, bit of a baptism by fire coming in here to Knockhill. You obviously don't know any of the circuits. How do you find it out there?
It's a little tight. The track's very short and it's very rough, and I'm having a great time riding. Just getting used to the bike and everything. The Bitmo Honda's just, it's a great motorcycle, and the team is making me feel really welcome here, and they're not putting too much pressure on me. So I'm mainly just out there trying to have a good time and go fast, Well,
the bike's certainly done very well for John so far this season. You've got a lot to live up to, but you have come with a good recommendation, none less than Freddie Spencer, I believe.
Yeah, having Freddie recommend me that's pretty cool.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck, and we'll be keeping a keen eye on what you can do.
Okay, thank you very much.
With McGuinness out of the equation, Ramsey has a massive lead in the series. He's sorry for his friend, but
it's not good about John, but obviously you have to take it when you get it, really. It's racing, and could be anyone next, could be me, it could be anyone, so just have to take it when we get it.
Well, finally we come north of the border for our one visit of the year. You've been raiding down in England for quite a few years nowadays. Do you feel under any extra pressure up here?
You get put under a bit more pressure because it's my home circuit and stuff, but nah, just get on with it. It's like next round of championship, I don't care what track it is, I'm just looking to get some good points.
Despite the race being designated by officials as dry, the track was at its trickiest, with damp patches crossing the racing line. Tyre choice was crucial, the moments before the green light, tense. And just to shake things up, it was the 24-year-old Ulsterman Stephen Thompson that grabbed pole from Pete Jennings on the Redwood Racing Honda. Shane Norval third, Lee Jackson in fourth place. Row 2, Hilton Hinks, Roland Sands, Steve Sawford and Gary Haslam. On row 3, Gary Jackson, Callum Ramsey right back there, Michael Herzberg, Tom Tunstall. Row 4 was Ian Bennett, Tim Levy, Chris Bishop and Peter Berwick. The 250s are about to get underway. Round 8 then in treacherous conditions because there is just one dry line, so if you were unfortunate enough to start on the wet bit, no drive down to turn 1. So into Duffer Stip for the first time on the 250s. Already had a crash. Chris Bishop out on the warm-up lap, but look at this, Roland Sands in third place on bike number 10, the replacement for John McGuinness. Number 10, Roland Sands, he was absolutely flying on the 2 laps warm-up. Now he's jammed right up behind Callum Ramsey on bike 60, but it's 16 that leads. Stephen Thompson, the pole sitter, has got away absolutely perfectly. He's had a brilliant qualification. He was there on pole position. Callum Ramsey's had to come back from the 3rd row of the grid. The leader of the series is now 2nd in the race on bike 60. And it's Roland Sands having his first ride. Well, the young Californian, really, what a shock this must have been to the system. From California to Knockhill. Uphill now then to the end of lap number 1, and Callum Ramsey comes alongside and pulls out from Stephen Thompson's slipstream to take the lead then at the end of lap 1. We're on lap 2. Through goes Sands, finds the dry line and up the inside. Wow, he qualified in 6th place. He said he wasn't happy with that. We all thought it was pretty good. Now we can see why he was moaning. Callum Ramsey then on bike 60 leads this race. He has a massive lead in the series now with John McGuinness's demise. So McGuinness, while his hip mends, he He can only watch as his friend Callum Ramsey just puts a bigger and bigger lead.